Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Zhou Xun, a portrait of grace, depth, and artistic courage. Zhou Xun, born on October 18, 1974, in Quzhou, Zhejiang Province, China, is one of the most acclaimed and versatile actresses of her generation. Revered for her naturalistic acting style, emotional depth, and ethereal screen presence, Zhou has carved a unique place in both Chinese cinema and global film culture. Over a career spanning more than 3 decades, she has become an emblem of modern Chinese artistry, combining sensitivity, intelligence, and quiet power. Early life and beginnings. Zhou Xun's journey into acting began with a love for performance that blossomed during her teenage years. After attending the Zhejiang Arts Institute, she started performing in small television roles and stage productions. Her delicate features, expressive eyes, and innate emotional intuition quickly caught the attention of filmmakers who saw in her something rare, a performer who could communicate deep feeling without words. Her first significant break came in the late 1990s with films like Quzhou River, 2000, directed by Liu Yi, which earned her international recognition. Playing a dual role in this moody, atmospheric film, Zhou displayed an astonishing ability to inhabit complex psychological spaces. Critics hailed her as one of the most promising actresses in Chinese cinema, and the film established her as a force in the arthouse scene. Rise to stardom. Zhou's career gained momentum in the early 2000s with acclaimed performances in both film and television. She starred in Balzac and the Little Chinese Seamstress, 2002, a poignant drama set during China's Cultural Revolution, where her delicate portrayal of the titular character won hearts across the world. Her performance in Perhaps Love, 2005, a musical romance directed by Peter Chan, marked a defining moment. The film earned her the Hong Kong Film Award for Best Actress and cemented her reputation as one of the most emotionally compelling actors in Asia. Zhou's ability to convey vulnerability and strength, sometimes within the same frame, became her signature. In television, her role as the intelligent and strong-willed Ruyi in Ruyi's Royal Love in the Palace, 2018, demonstrated her mastery of nuance and inner conflict. Playing an empress navigating the treacherous world of Qing dynasty politics, Zhou brought dignity and subtlety to a role that demanded emotional restraint and power. Versatility and craft. Zhou Xun is celebrated for her commitment to artistic integrity over commercial gain. She moves fluidly between arthouse films, historical epics, romantic dramas, and thrillers, always grounding her performances in truth. Her collaborations with directors such as Chen Kaige, The Promise, Feng Xiaogang, Painted Skin, and Anne Wei, The Golden Era, have showcased her range and fearlessness in exploring challenging material. Known for her immersive approach, Zhou rarely repeats herself. Whether portraying a restless urban youth, a tragic concubine, or a mysterious spirit, she disappears into her characters completely. This transformative quality has earned her comparisons to international greats like Cate Blanchett and Isabelle Huppert. Awards and recognition. Zhou Xun is one of the few actresses to have achieved the Grand Slam of Chinese acting awards, winning the Golden Horse Award, Taiwan, the Hong Kong Film Award, and the Golden Rooster Award, mainland China. She has also been named Best Actress at numerous international film festivals. Her influence extends beyond acting. She was appointed a UNDP Goodwill Ambassador in 2008 for her environmental advocacy and social work. Personal life and legacy. Despite her fame, Zhou Xun remains a deeply private figure. Known for her introspective personality and spiritual sensibility, she avoids the limelight outside of her professional work. Her elegance and authenticity have made her a style icon in Asia. And her dedication to meaningful storytelling continues to inspire younger generations of performers. Cultural impact. Zhou Xun's artistry transcends borders. She is widely regarded as one of China's 4 Dan actresses of the early 21st century, alongside Zhao Wei, Xu Jinglei, and Zhang Ziyi. Yet, unlike many of her contemporaries who pursued Hollywood fame, Zhou has focused on developing Chinese cinema's emotional and artistic vocabulary. Her work represents the fusion of tradition and modernity, a bridge between the poetic restraint of classic Chinese cinema and the psychological realism of contemporary film. Major filmography and artistic evolution. Zhou Xun's filmography reflects her deep curiosity about human nature and her refusal to be typecast. Each role seems to represent a new facet of her evolving artistic identity, introspective, daring, and emotionally raw. Suzhou River 2000, directed by Liu Yi. This neo-noir romance became Zhou's breakout film. Playing both Mei Mei, a mysterious bargirl, and Moden, an innocent young woman, Zhou captured the haunting duality of love and loss in a rapidly changing Shanghai. The film's dreamlike visuals and Zhou's enigmatic performance earned international acclaim, with critics comparing her to Jean Moreau and Anna Karenina. Balzac and the Little Chinese Seamstress, 2002, adapted from Dai Siji's novel. This film brought Zhou to a global audience. Her portrayal of the seamstress, innocent, curious, and quietly defiant, embodied the yearning for freedom during China's Cultural Revolution. Through her nuanced acting, Zhou expressed the beauty and tragedy of awakening to love and art in an oppressive time. Perhaps Love, 2005, a landmark film in modern Chinese cinema. Perhaps Love was a lavish, introspective musical exploring the blurred line between performance and emotion. Zhou played Sun Na, a singer torn between ambition and love. Her subtle melancholy anchored the film's theatrical visuals, earning her the Hong Kong Film Award, the Golden Bohemia Award, and widespread recognition across Asia. The Banquet, 2006, and The Painted Skin, 2008. Zhou proved her versatility with these historical and fantasy dramas. In The Banquet, a modern interpretation of Hamlet, she portrayed Empress Wan, a woman of intelligence and tragedy trapped in imperial intrigue. In Painted Skin, she played Xiao Wei, a beautiful yet tormented fox spirit. Her portrayal transformed a mythical creature into a symbol of existential loneliness and forbidden desire, balancing otherworldly mystery with human fragility. The Equation of Love and Death, 2008. One of Zhou's most acclaimed performances, this psychological thriller cemented her status as one of China's finest actresses. Playing Li Mi, a taxi driver searching for her missing boyfriend, Zhou delivered a performance of aching realism and raw emotional intensity. Her ability to convey obsession, grief, and resilience with minimal dialogue earned her numerous Best Actress awards, including the Golden Horse Award. The Silent War, 2012. In this espionage thriller set in 1950s China, Zhou starred opposite Tony Leung Chu-wai as a blind man decoding radio transmissions. Her performance as a secret agent balancing duty and compassion was quietly powerful, revealing her gift for emotional understatement. The Golden Era, 2014. Directed by An Wei, this biographical epic about the life of writer Xiao Hong showcased Zhou's intellectual and poetic depth. Through her restrained yet moving performance, Zhou portrayed a woman striving for artistic freedom in a turbulent era. The film became a reflection of Zhou's own career, an artist defined by independence and introspection. Ruyi's Royal Love in the Palace, 2018. This television epic brought Zhou back to the small screen, where she played Yulinara Ruyi, a noblewoman who becomes empress. Her performance was masterful, layered with quiet sorrow, moral strength, and emotional realism. Critics praised her ability to convey the passage of time and the gradual erosion of love and trust within the confines of imperial power. Artistic philosophy and style. Zhou Xun's approach to acting is grounded in emotional truth rather than technique. She once said that she doesn't act, she feels. This instinctive method gives her performances an authenticity that resonates deeply with audiences. Her eyes, often described as the most expressive in Chinese cinema, communicate what words cannot. Unlike many stars, Zhou is drawn to stories about solitude, identity, and the contradictions of the human heart. She gravitates toward roles that explore inner conflict, characters who live between dreams and disillusionment. Directors frequently describe her as a pure actor, someone who disappears completely into her roles without vanity or hesitation. Her collaborations with visionary directors such as Liu Yi, Chen Kaige, Feng Xiaogang, and An Wei have shaped her artistic evolution. Zhou brings an unspoken vulnerability to every performance, bridging the line between performance and reality. Femininity and rebellion, beauty and truth. Influence and legacy. Zhou Xun's legacy is profound. As one of the 4 Dan actresses of Chinese cinema's new era, she helped redefine female stardom, not through glamour or publicity, but through craft and integrity. She paved the way for a generation of actresses who seek authenticity over commercial success. Her performances have inspired comparisons to both Western and Eastern icons, the emotional honesty of Juliette Binoche, the introspection of Maggie Cheung, and the spiritual resonance of Gong Li. Beyond cinema, Zhou is admired for her humanitarian efforts. As a United Nations Development Program, UNDP, Goodwill Ambassador, she has advocated for environmental protection and sustainable living, emphasizing personal responsibility and compassion. Personal character. Zhou Xun is known for her quiet, introspective personality. She often avoids public appearances, preferring solitude and reflection. Friends and colleagues describe her as deeply intuitive, empathetic, and spiritual, someone who treats acting not as a profession, but as a form of meditation. Her fashion sense, simple, elegant, and timeless, reflects her personality, understated yet unforgettable. She remains one of Asia's most respected and enigmatic cultural figures, admired not only for her talent but for her authenticity and grace. Personal life and relationships. Zhou Xun has always been famously private about her personal life, maintaining an air of mystery that adds to her enduring allure. She avoids the typical celebrity spotlight, preferring to let her work and inner philosophy speak for her. Unlike many stars who thrive on media attention, Zhou is known for her quiet humility and a near monastic dedication to her craft. Her romantic life, though occasionally publicized, has been handled with dignity and discretion. Over the years, she has been linked to several figures in the entertainment industry, but she rarely comments on personal matters. In 2014, Zhou married Chinese-American actor Archie Cao in a surprise ceremony that reflected her spontaneous and heartfelt nature. The union was celebrated across China for its simplicity and sincerity. But after several years, the couple reportedly separated. Zhou never indulged in public drama, staying true to her principle of privacy and grace under scrutiny. Despite living in an era of pervasive media, Zhou has remained remarkably unscathed by gossip or controversy. Her quiet strength, emotional intelligence, and refusal to conform to celebrity norms have earned her deep respect within the industry. Collaborations and working relationships. Zhou Xun's collaborations with visionary directors have been central to her artistic growth. Each partnership has revealed new dimensions of her versatility. Liu Yi, who directed Suzhou River, helped her discover her naturalistic acting style, emphasizing truth over performance. Their work together pushed the boundaries of Chinese independent cinema and earned international acclaim. Peter Chan, with Perhaps Love, brought out her musical and romantic sensibilities, combining performance art with psychological storytelling. Anne Wei, who cast her in the Golden Era, highlighted Zhou's intellectual and poetic side, allowing her to explore the spiritual cost of artistic ambition. Chen Kaiga and Feng Xiaogang gave her opportunities to delve into grand, stylized worlds, testing her ability to balance emotional realism with cinematic spectacle. Her co-stars often speak of her as deeply empathetic and generous on set. Actors such as Tony Leung, Huang Xiaoming, Chen Kun, and Li Bingbing have described her as transparent, a performer who listens deeply and transforms the energy of a scene through subtle intuition rather than force. Zhou's long friendship and frequent collaboration with Chen Kun is particularly beloved among fans. The two share a deep mutual respect and have appeared together in several projects, their chemistry on and off-screen radiating authenticity and trust. Influence on modern Chinese cinema. Zhou Xun occupies a unique space in Chinese cinema. While many of her contemporaries pursued global stardom, Zhou chose depth over visibility. Her artistry has influenced a new generation of filmmakers and performers who see in her a model of emotional truth and artistic courage. She represents a bridge between the poetic subtlety of classic Chinese actresses, such as Brigitte Lin and Maggie Cheung, and the bold introspection of modern performers. Zhou's performances often mirror the psychological transformation of Chinese society itself, the tension between tradition and modernity, conformity and individuality, surface beauty and inner truth. Her success in art house and mainstream cinema alike demonstrated that Chinese audiences were ready for complex, introspective storytelling led by women. She helped redefine what it means to be a movie star in Asia. Less about glamour, more about substance. Zhou's artistic influence extends beyond film. She has inspired writers, musicians, and designers who admire her purity of spirit and understated elegance. Fashion houses such as Chanel and Dior have long regarded her as a muse, drawn to her blend of fragility and strength, humanitarian work and philosophy. In 2008, Zhou Xun became a United
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.